This is Tina with Tia's Treasures, and today I have Pink and Main's April 2022 Crafty Courtyard kit called Lemon Twist. Now, I don't have it in the box right now, but this is everything that came with the kit. I'm going over this real quick, just in case you haven't seen it. So Pink and Main always comes with this card that tells you what's in the kit, along with this beautiful backside that you could use to make a card if you want. I like to save these. I know some people like to put them on a card base and use this just for a card. So anyway, yeah, so the card kit comes with these really nice enamel dots that goes with the color palette. In case you didn't notice, this is our color palette. We've got a kind of an orange red, an orange yellow, and 3 shades of blue. The kit comes with some envelope seals, 3 of them. We used to get like a little button, a pin that I collected, and now I'm getting these, and I'm not sure what to do with them. I guess I can put them on the envelope. They're real pretty. Don't get me wrong. I just was a sucker for pinning up my pins to see every single box that I had gotten. And man, I really need to quit complaining and just be glad that Michelle gave us anything, which is these beautiful stickers. So just, I think I will show you these beautiful sequins that come in the kit. You can make a shaker card with these or put them on your card. I mean, they're just gorgeous. I love this color palette with the blues and the yellows, and just, and this kit comes with some gorgeous tile, well, it looks like tile pattern paper. I wasn't going to go through the pattern paper, but it's just too pretty not to. So we've got that. I'm going to do it real quick. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Lemons. More like tile. Just gorgeous. And I love this paper. Even these stripes are just pretty. So is this where we started? You know, maybe I should have paid attention. Yes, this is where we started. So now we'll do the back sides. Look at that. That is just so pretty. 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 Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's just too much. I love that. I love that. It's a good thing we get 2 sheets of both in here, because otherwise I'm not sure I could cut into any of these papers. They're just too pretty. Let me put these off to the side. And we always get, well, let's leave the stamp for last. Comes with a stencil, which I have used already. It's kind of like a real pretty, kind of matches the pattern paper. And we have this beautiful embossing folder. Does it have a name? Ornate Tile, it's called, and that's what it looks like, Ornate Tile. Now for the stamps, we have these beautiful lemon stamps, and you don't have to color if you don't want. You could just use the lemons to stamp and the leaves to stamp inside. And we got 4 sentiments. And the lovely thing is that this cuts out both the sentiments and the little lemons. So isn't that awesome? I love it when you can cut out the sentiments. Yes, our sentiments are: each day you get a fresh start. When life gives you lemons, ... Squeeze the day. I love your zest for life. Gorgeous. And I think somewhere I have some more lemon puns, so I might just look and see if I can find a few more lemon stamps. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but hey, why not, right? We have a stash for a reason. And we always get with Pink and Main this really cool zipper bag. It's just awesome. Now, it won't fit in a piece of 8x11 cardstock, but if you cut it in half, it'll fit it perfectly. It's just a little bit short. Here's like an 8x11, and as you can see, you'd have to really kind of cram it in there, which you'd probably ruin the edge of your cardstock. So the cardstock we got this month, we've got this orange. And then, I don't know what that is, but we also got a blue basil, which is called, if I can read it here somewhere. I can't see what it's, here we go. Northern, maybe, I'm like, what does it say? I need reading glasses. Northern something. There is a big spot where it's missing what it's called. We've got powder blue, probably Northern Sea or something. Powder blue, and then we've got this pretty yellow that is called African Daisy, and this is Ocean. And then we have two pieces. I believe this is called Ice Rink, 110 pound. And that's what is in this month's kit. So stay tuned. I am going to make some lovely cards starting now. So for all my cards, you're going to see a lot, well, all blue and yellow. I just love this combination and I think it's gorgeous. So for this first card, I've got some pattern paper here that I've got on a piece of foam tape, a foam backing, a piece of fun foam. And I am just gluing that down to a piece of yellow cardstock that was in the kit. And I am going to glue down a piece of yellow cardstock on top of that. Now there's a reason for that, and I'll get to it in a bit, but it does look pretty just the same. And I have got these die cuts that I colored with some yellow ink and some green ink pads, and I am going to use them on most of my cards. Now I've got the sentiment, each day you get a fresh start. See, that's the stamp set that I used. And so each day you get a fresh start. And the reason I put down that yellow strip now is becoming apparent because the sentiment was just getting lost on the busy background. So I thought if I put up a yellow strip of cardstock, that will be a perfect place for my sentiment. And it was. And now I'm putting some enamel dots. I decided just to put 3 small enamel dots going down this piece of yellow cardstock. Now the only thing I popped up on this card was the pattern paper, and I think that's almost all I popped up on all the cards. I used some foam tape on another card. That's about it. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just kind of straightening out these dots now. I had them crooked, but this is card number 1. Now for card number 2, as you can see again, yellow and blue. Would you believe my kitchen has been yellow and blue as long as I've been married, and I've been married a long time. I just love the color combination, and I think yellow is a cheerful color for a kitchen. Add in some blue and just chef's kiss, you know. No red though, because then we'd look like a kindergarten class. So anyway, I glued down that yellow piece of paper, the cardstock, and now I am gluing down a piece of blue cardstock that I ran through the embossing folder that came with the kit. And I ran a little blue ink cube, I think Blue Hawaii from Hero Arts. I ran that just over the embossing so you could get a better look at it, because I didn't get a real deep emboss on this paper. It's probably my own fault. I didn't come up with a real good sandwich to use. I either used too much pressure or not enough. And so in this case, I thought by rubbing over the ink cube, it would really highlight where it was embossed, and it's really pretty that way. So this card I popped up the lemon on, and I also popped up the sentiment that says, I love your zest for life. And you're seeing me right now kind of struggling to put that tape on there because it was a little crooked. It didn't want to go on straight for me. And so I eventually kind of fixed it to where I could get it straight. You know, foam tape just doesn't always cooperate with me, which is why I don't use it on everything. I probably should pop up more things because I've heard a rumor that like dimension is life. I don't know if that's true, but it's a nice saying all the same. So now I'm just putting some yellow enamel dots on this card. And I just, did I mention I really love yellow on the blue? So I'm just kind of scattering some around, and I'm trying to be a little adventurous with where I put these enamel dots. And that is it for card number 2. Now for card number 3, I am using the pattern paper again. And in this case, I've got 2 of the striped ones. I've got the blue striped pattern paper and a strip of yellow striped pattern paper. And luckily, I think they go good together. Now, without even trying, for whatever reason, I just happened to cut these two strips of paper to where the yellow fits perfectly on the blue and the white fits perfectly on the white. And I didn't even try to make that happen. It just did. So luckily, I glued the papers down right. It could have easily gone in the other direction. So again, I'm taking these lemons that I had colored and I am gluing them down, and I am using the sentiment, when life gives you lemons. And I've got the other sentiment that says squeeze the day. So the first sentiment I glue down is when life gives you lemons. Now here I'm trying to decide if I want squeeze the day on the outside or the inside of the card. And I finally decide I am going to put it on the inside of the card. So I glue that down and I start thinking about it, and I decide I'm going to pull in my lemon stamp, and I am going to just stamp that on the inside with some yellow ink. And I'm using some Simon Says stamps, positively saturated ink there, and I am stamping that on the inside of the card. Now I end up going back on all of these cards and stamping that lemon stamp inside every card with that same ink. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what the color is. You could probably read it better than I can. And on all of the cards, I also go back in and I stamp in blue ink, squeeze the day. I just think it kind of goes with all the lemon cards, so why not? You know, decorate the inside of these cards just a little bit. You can actually like give these cards away as a set if you wanted to, because they all kind of got the same theme going through. So I put some light blue enamel dots on this card, again trying to be random in where I place them. And this is card number 3. I really love this card. I think it came out really nice. Now for card number 4, I'm using some of that pattern paper again. This pattern paper was so pretty. And this one's already got the lemon on it. So I cut it down so the lemon is kind of in the front there on the bottom, which you'll see in a moment. Right there. I also am using some of the the yellow striped pattern paper as a background frame for this card. I ran out of the yellow cardstock, so I was like, I'm just going to use some of the yellow striped paper. And I had those stripes going horizontally, and I glued on my pretty lemon tiled pattern paper on that. Now I have got a piece of vellum and the word thanks. You know, the vellum is my shadow layer and the thanks is the regular layer. And I've got some adhesive backing on both of these. So I am going to just use, instead of having to worry about where I'm going to glue the vellum, I've got the adhesive on the back of the whole thing, so you don't end up seeing it. I made it into a giant sticker. I don't know why more people don't do that. Maybe I'm missing something. The only thing I could see is that because it is like glued down so flat, you might want to have it so it's not quite so flat against the card. I don't know. It worked for me though. And right here, the glue on the backing kind of stuck before I was ready to stick it all the way down. And so it was over slightly more to the right than I wanted, but it still worked out. It's not like a big of deal really. So then I end up just pressing the whole thing down nice and tight to my background. Now that background is just too pretty to put a different shadow layer on, which is why I'm using the vellum. Now here I've got my word thanks. Again, this didn't come in the kit, but it was a Pink and Main die. I think it might have come in a previous kit. And I'm just trying to poke out the centers here. Now this is a real fine word die, which is why I've got the adhesive backing on it. It just, and it's when I pulled it out, a lot of times when they're this fine too, they like to go all accordingly. That's not the word I'm going for. They like to go like an accordion and stretch out if you're not careful. And so, you know, you got to be careful with these. I don't know if you can hear, but my cat is in here like playing with the box that's on the floor. I just kind of looked at him and he stopped doing it. Made a liar out of me. I'm not playing with the box anymore, Mom. At least he's not going to jump up here. He just doesn't do that. I think he's too fat to jump as high as my desk. So I'm trying to get my backing off of this, and it's not cooperating too much. As a matter of fact, I actually split a little bit of my paper before the backing even came off. The paper started coming apart, but I finally managed to get the backing off. And as I was trying to get this word thanks on my piece of vellum, I thought I would be real smart and just do one letter at a time. Well, because I didn't have it on perfectly, I ended up with the A not wanting to fit exactly where the A on the vellum was, so I had to kind of go back and adjust it anyway, which is what I just did there, is I pulled it towards me. And now I'm just pressing all those letters down. And you can see where I'm trying to glue, where I accidentally started pulling the paper apart on that S. Got a little bit too much glue there. And this card, I think, is just real pretty. And now I am putting a few enamel dots, some more yellow enamel dots, just around the K and to the bottom of the A. I'm going to put them down, trying to make it look a little bit random. This card at first, I thought if I just put a sentiment like that came in the kit, I didn't think it would be big enough, and I wanted something big and bold to go to the front, being as we didn't have to color these lemons because they were already on the paper. And so I thought using that word thanks was just perfect. And that was card number 4. Now for card number 5, I've got this real pretty background that I used the stencil that came in the kit, and I also used some there it is, the Nouveau, the Nouveau mousse. And when I originally put the mousse through the stencil, it looked like it was on perfect until I started ink blending and I came up with these dots I'm pointing at. So a little bit came like underneath the stencil that I didn't even notice until I ink blended the back of the stencil. And I was able to ink blend it and then just wipe it off the top of the mousse after it was thoroughly dried, and it came out beautifully. This is, again, Simon Says saturated stamp ink, and it is in obviously a blue color. I'm just not remembering the color blue. I should have these inks in front of me so I could, like, you know, tell you exactly what they are. I'm going to show them to you though in a few minutes. So I'm taking my last little die cut here and trying to figure out which direction I'm going to put it on the card. And I'm taking my Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy that you saw was part of the Stamping for Less stamp set. I don't know if y'all remember, for a while I was getting the Flavor of the Month little kits from Stamping for Less. They made it easy for me to cancel by going out of business. Teresa from that is still around though. I think she's fresh and renewed by Teresa now. She's got a YouTube channel. So here I am gluing on my Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. It's the only sentiment that wasn't from the kit. And I just think this card is gorgeous. The shine from the Nouveau Mousse. And I thought about putting some enamel dots, but decided that I wasn't going to do that. But I was going to sparkle up the lemons using the Spectrum Noir sparkle pen or glitter pen or whatever you want to call it. And that was card number 5. Now I am pulling out all the inks to show you that I used. And I've got 2 of the yellows, 2 of the greens, and the 1 blue that I used on this card here that you're looking at. So this was a quick little video with my 5 Pink and Maiden cards. There is card 1, beautiful. Card 2, really beautiful. 3, beautiful. You know, I'm kind of humble. I don't know if you noticed that, but anyway, yeah. 4 and 5. I just love these colors, love these kits. Bye-bye, everybody. Love you. Please thumbs up or subscribe.